Brazil doesn't just play football. Brazil manufactures legends. From Pelé to Ronaldo, from Ronaldinho to Neymar, from Vini Junior to Endrick. One country keeps producing more superstars than entire continents. But here's the real question Americans always ask. How can one nation create an endless pipeline of world-class talent? Is it culture, geography, or a billion-dollar system built on desperation and opportunity? Today, we break down the hidden economics, geography, and social forces that make Brazil the world's greatest football factory. Brazilian football doesn't start in academies. It starts in chaos, in streets, alleys, beaches, and favelas, where kids learn with no coaches, no rules, and often no shoes. A kid in Rio touches a football thousands of times more per day than a kid in Europe or the USA. On concrete, you learn balance. On sand, you learn power. In tight spaces, you learn survival. This unforgiving environment forces creativity, the kind you cannot teach in elite academies. In Brazil, football isn't a hobby. It's a language, passed from father to son, neighbor to neighbor, a culture where style matters just as much as winning. And that culture creates players, not athletes, thinkers, magicians, dancers, with a ball at their feet. But flair alone doesn't produce legends. Here's the harsh truth. In Brazil, football is an escape, sometimes the only one. Millions of kids grow up with limited opportunities, but one dream. If I make it as a footballer, my whole family gets out. This pressure creates something rare: hunger, obsession, purpose. Scouts flood the favelas like Wall Street investors hunting the next unicorn. And they know the math. Brazil produces more professional footballers than the next 10 countries combined. For clubs and agents, a superstar isn't just talent, it's a multi-million-dollar asset. This economic pressure creates a massive talent ecosystem, driven by survival, reward, and real financial stakes. When the difference between poverty and success fits inside a football, the effort level becomes superhuman. Brazil is a football map with different worlds inside it. The tropical climate means year-round outdoor play, no winter shutdowns like in Europe or the USA. Painting the scene. The beaches of Rio create improvisers. The favelas create dribblers. The South creates discipline and strength. Brazil doesn't produce one type of player. It produces every type, because the country itself is a giant training laboratory. Environment is a coach. Climate is a coach. Survival is a coach. And together, they create legends. While kids play in the streets, a massive football industry watches closely. Brazilian clubs run enormous youth systems. Some scout 50,000 kids a year. Small community clubs act as laboratories. Bigger clubs buy the best prospects. European scouts buy them again. This turns Brazil into a global talent export machine. One teenager sold to Real Madrid, or Manchester City, can fund an entire club's budget for a year. And the cycle continues. Money, academies, training, more stars, more exports. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's an economic engine, optimized for talent development. To understand Brazil's success, you must stop thinking about football as a sport and start seeing it as a business ecosystem. Agents, scouts, sponsors, academies, training companies, an entire economy built around the hope that one kid becomes the next Neymar. Football has become one of Brazil's biggest exports. Not shoes, not electronics, athletes. And each legend that reaches Europe inspires the next generation to try even harder. Brazil doesn't produce legends because of one ingredient. It produces legends because everything in the country, the culture, the poverty, the geography, the economics, pushes millions of kids toward the same dream. Every Brazilian star you watch on TV is not just talent. It's decades of history, community, environment, and pressure woven into a single, unstoppable story. And that is why Brazil will continue creating legends, long after the rest of the world tries to understand how.